I heard they wildin' for it. Woohoo! I heard they been wildin' for it. What's up, folk? It is your one and only favorite Wody Jacka Jack. Just another nigga with no bitches and an opinion, and I've been wildin' for respect. How the fuck you live? Da 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 da. Yeah, no, I know. I do know. The full episodes, they don't really hit the YouTube that much, but when it's on the IG, you will see the one and only motherfucking Freak Weezy is live and direct straight from the motherfucking LBC. What's going on, my nigga?
It's a long drive out to Calabasas.
Well, not quite Calabasas, but we can say that for the flex. Realistically, I'd probably say the more accurate, I would say, because at first I thought Calabasas was the more accurate, which it is because it's only it's just right up the street. But really, Woodland Hills would probably be like
Woodland Hills.
That would probably be the more accurate. That would be the more accurate place to describe where
Calabasas
we're at.
Is right up the street.
Yeah,
but, okay.
Like really, right now we're in Winnetka, but when you say Winnetka, it's like what Winnetka, but Woodland Hills, which is across the street, just on the other side of the motherfucking 101. That's really where we at with it. But my nigga, man, my nigga Weez. When's the last time? So when was the last time that I seen you?
Man, it had to be. It was in August. It was before the school year for sure. It was probably like the last.
It was in August.
It was either August or July.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe it
was it? It was when we went downtown. Was it the last time was for a podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's right.
I actually remember. So yeah, August 7th. I kind of remember. Okay, I remember where I was in my life too. Then. I remember I was talking to a few girls on Hinge at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had the black girl
that
I just started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that ended up.
Yeah. Whatever happened? What was like? Whatever happened to that? Like, I guess the finality or whatever.
So, really, I learned a lot of things. I learned what I liked. I learned that I like a girl with a lot of culture, that we like the same music and vibing and whatnot, and I found out that, hey, I could really be with a black woman, and, in some instances, I would prefer it. But what ended up happening is she low-key played me. I mean... So we had sex. So first she said she just wanted sex. Then we both started having feelings for each other.
I do remember that.
And then so we had sex twice. Like one night after we hung out. We hung out like once or twice. Then we had sex. And then we never had sex again. Right. And she would just come over and kiss and cake and cuddle and and
I
always
remember that being an
out.
issue. Yes.
And I'm like, what is going on? And she would make up excuses and shit like that. And it kind of helped me realize like, yo, like I need sex.
Right.
And if she's not having sex with you, there's a reason, And I didn't know what the reason was until I found out that it's because when I was hitting it one time and she was acting like she couldn't take it, I said, you're a big girl. You're a big girl. You should be able to take it. I wasn't saying it. I didn't say it exactly like that. But I was saying, like, you're a big girl, you can handle it. Like you're an adult, Like, this ain't your first rodeo.
Right.
And she took it as, you're a fat piece of shit. And
oh, wow.
Yeah. And and the reason I know she took it as that is because she said, like, a week later, she's like, yeah, you call me fat. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you call me fat during sex. I'm like... Yeah, I don't remember that. Like, I would never say that. I don't think you're fat. I think you have a gorgeous body.
Right.
I'm not even sure. And she said, yeah, well, you said, you're a big girl. You can handle it. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. Like, And so it was fucking with her. And so I didn't realize how bad it really was fucking with her. And I
Mhm.
don't even know if it's true for sure, but I think it is. Because so what ended up happening, I told her like, look, I don't want to hang out with you anymore if we're not having sex.
I remember that.
Because, you know, to me, like, you said that you wanted to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're saying that, well, you want to be you want a relationship. Then you said, well, we can't really have a relationship because you didn't really want that. She's back and forth. I said, okay, we can be cool. I said we can hang out, but we can't do sleepover.
Right.
And she was like, oh, well, why not? I was like, I just, you know, I'm just not in a place. I don't want to be in bed with you, not able to fuck like with a hard ass dick.
Especially when you fuck with, like, it'd be different if, like, y'all didn't, like, y'all wasn't really, like, not liking or not rocking with each other. Like, that'd be different. But it's like, nah, I like you. I rock with you. Like, I can't. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's so uncomfortable. And so I told her, like, we can be friends. And then she kept pushing the line. She would be like, oh, yeah, I want to work out on Saturday. Maybe I can stay over. I was like, you know, and so earlier that week, what ended up happening was I went over to her house because she wanted me to come over.
Right.
I'm thinking, okay, you know, she wants me to come over late. Like, this is it. She wants to have sex. I have a condom on me and everything. And when I was leaving, the condom fell in my pocket. And she's like, oh, what is this? And she thought it was hers at first, low key, but she was like confused because she didn't think she had one. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm glad this happened. Actually, it's kind of crazy. But she was like, oh yeah, I would have wanted to, but I'm on my period, right? I'm like, oh okay, you know. And then when she's talking about coming over to stay the night, and I already told her you're not staying the night unless we're fucking.
Right. Which,
I was like,
which I totally like. I hear that. And it's almost to the same thing of like how they say, like, you know, just because a woman does come over, she doesn't have to, or just because you do pay for her meal or whatever, she doesn't owe you this and that. And that's very true. And you have that same liberty to exercise your right to just be like, well, to I guess set up not a standard, but I don't know, maybe regulations or something like. But it does sound crazy to just be like, hey, if we not fucking, then hey, you know,
you're not staying the night.
You gotta be out. You gotta be out by 9.
Right. Because I don't even want that temptation. Not that I can't like not control myself.
Right.
But yeah, and so she ended up. She was talking about staying the night. I was like, oh, Mother Nature must be done running its course. Because, you know, she said before she would if it wasn't for her period, which was a lie. And then she was like, all you care about is sex. All you care about is sex. I'm thinking, no, but, like, what is this? Like, you know? And then eventually she comes out and she's like, you know, ever since you said I was a big girl, I just haven't been able to. I haven't been comfortable pretty much. And at that point, I'm like, you've been playing me.
So
you've been leading me to think that, oh, I want to so bad, but I can't. Or this or that, you know, and she kind of played me low key, in my opinion.
And now that we're on the subject and topic of you and black women, you know, I've been thinking about this recently. I've been thinking about this recently, man. I've been thinking about this recently, and I had to laugh even just saying it to myself. I'm like, man. Maybe this nigga Weezy was really on to something this whole time of just, you know, just a hard no on black women. I don't want them.
Wow.
I'm not saying that for me. I'm saying how you used to be giving it up. But maybe you were on to something, man. Not to say that we shouldn't want black women. Have you noticed on the internets the civil war that's going on right now between black men and black women?
I've not noticed this at all. Is it a Twitter thing?
It is for sure definitely a Twitter and social media thing. For sure a Twitter thing. And when I mean to tell you, my G, that it is an all-out bloodbath. It is, well, it not a bloodbath. This is a Cold War. But, my nigga, it's bad out here. It is very bad out here. And part of it, so right now, black women have felt like They're saying this is their thing. Dating down. Dating down. I would be someone right now that a black woman would consider dating down. Because one, it's the money. That's one. Two, it could be education level.
And you have a bachelor's degree.
Right. You know, let me tell you something that broke my heart with me and Kobe. You know, she told after 3 years, she said we were uncompatible. One, because of money.
Wow.
Two, she has a master's and I have a bachelor's.
Wow.
We are uncompatible.
When did that conversation come about? Why did this conversation even come about?
I don't know. We were just so that was I don't know, but it was the same day that I like just broke down crying right in front of her.
Jesus.
Because I could just see it on her face and just what she was saying, and it was like, damn, she really don't fuck with it. Like it's over. Like it's like legit over with. Like it's legit. And I'm just sitting there on the counter, man. I'm just standing there on the counter, man, or not standing on the counter. I'm just leaning up on the counter, and I'm trying to hold it back, man. And next thing you know, my nigga just covering my face, and that's, you know, just simping it up. Where's the award? Somebody come bring it in.
Jesus.
I deserve it. Simp award. The simp of the year. I deserve it for sure. But yeah, man. And so it kind of makes me like, it makes me think about all those conversations we used to have of like black women not necessarily fucking with us, or for whether it was just like maybe we dressed a certain way,
right.
or whatever the case. And I bring this up not to say, I think the point that I'm coming to with black women, or that I'm realizing that with dating a black woman, possibly, is that one, you have to be on your A game. There is no, you have to be on your motherfucking A game. And even with that, it still may never be enough. It still may never motherfucking.
Okay, but wait, on your A game as far as your status?
Yes.
I mean, obviously this can't be for all black women, because not all black women have a high, like some of them might, just like any woman, ain't no basic ass black chick with no degree, just like white girl with no degree is like, yo, you need to have a master's.
Okay. Well, all right. So maybe black women that don't have degree, but even then, but there's a level of delusion with black women that's insane.
Well, see, this is where I feel like we differ, because I think all women are delusional.
They are. Don't get, and maybe so, and that's why I like, all right. I love fucking with I love fucking with Denise and this and that, but it makes me wish, like, damn, I really want to try like another race now, just to compare it, just to compare what's the mindsets, the mindset of what's important or whatever. Like, again, this whole education thing, my boy Smith said it best. He was like, he was like, black women have bought into education. Now, I forgot his explanation for it, but it was really cool. And that shit means everything to black women right now. Getting an education, getting a bachelor's degree, getting a master's or whatever. Like, I'm not exactly sure what it says or but it means everything. It means everything. It means everything in in the motherfucking world. And I'm just thinking like, man, I don't think unless I make six figures, I don't think I'll ever actually be able to date a black woman, or at least have a successful relationship with a black woman, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never felt. I mean, I felt the other things, just like not being black enough, but never like, oh, well, you don't make enough money, or oh, your degree isn't. Because I have 2 associates. At the end of the year, I have another associate's degree.
Right.
I may never have a master's degree. I haven't felt that. I guess I don't know.
And now again, a lot of this is probably a bias.
It's anecdotal for sure.
What do you mean?
Like, it's like if you were to do a survey and it's only for you and based upon your experiences.
Right.
In other words, yeah, it's anecdotal evidence.
Right.
So,
but I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, the shit that I be seeing, on motherfucking Twitter, man, it's crazy. It's literally fucking crazy, man. Like, these bitches be making motherfucking $50,000 and $60,000 and this and that shit, and it's like, well, if I got this, I obviously can't be fucking with a nigga that isn't making at least 90. Like, if a black woman's making 60 and you making 40, it's a wrap, my nigga. Well, it's a wrap.
I think that they got the whole, like, don't sell for less queens, especially because they've been shat on for so many years. Now they want to up the standard to a next level.
But this is the thing.
Eventually.
This is the thing that kind of trips me. It's, first off, I think it's a prime example of the grass is on what they believe the grass is greener on the other side. I think because black women are always like, black men just y'all need to step it up. Y'all need to do this and that and whatever the case. And I'm just like, but in like what form? Like what do you want? What do you mean? Is it emotional? Do we need to step it up that way? Like, okay, we're men at the end of the day, so we're going to suck at that or whatever the case. But it's like, all right, do we need to go to school? Do we need to make more money? Whatever the case. I think it's just they see how white women live or how they believe white women live, and they want it. Now, you hear all this now, all the black women isn't protected and all this and that. Black men, you got to do better. I guess I hear you, but, I mean, shit, is right now any worse than any other time?
I mean, it's a strange time in general with COVID. Like, I don't know what the fuck is really going on. People aren't really meeting like they were.
Right.
So it's a strange time just in general. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I just like how the tide has turned and now you're the villain. And, I'm over here just,
Who's the villain? I'm the
You're
villain?
The villain now.
Yeah, no. I'm for sure. I have for sure. I have for sure taken your role. I have for sure stepped into the light of side-eyeing black women right now. I have for surely taken your role, and I'm trying to fill it. I'm trying to do it justice, but I don't know, man. Like I said.
Well, it's funny because now I'm feeling kind of what you were feeling about the black love a little bit. So this new girl I'm dating, French girl, she lived in like Thailand and Bali like her whole life, and she's been in France but not a lot. She speaks French, so she's still a citizen. She was there. She's been in LA for 2 years for acting school, and there's a lot of things that I'm like, do you know this song? You doing this song? She don't know any old songs.
Right.
And even the songs now, I'd be like talking to her about the lyrics, and she's like, yeah, I love that song. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd be trying to say the words. She don't even know the words. She just says she liked the way that his voice sounds, and I'm like, it's so odd to me. And I just remember before with the black girl, like, singing and music and stuff like that, and it's cool with me and her. I love that I can be myself. she's very caring, very affectionate, and that's another thing. Like, she rubbing on me, on my arms and stuff. I'm realizing, like, yo, I really like that affection that she brings. A freak. A super freak.
Can always come on, man. Come on, man.
Super freak.
Come on, man.
Like, maybe the freakiest I've ever had. Like, wow. So that's great. And so it's funny because now, you know, I don't really post her. She's been on my Instagram, and not like, you know, I don't really do that, posting like me and my girl or whatever.
Right.
But like, you know, like the black girl has seen stuff, and she's like, you know, you can tell she be trying to hard eye my photos now on IG, trying to say like, oh yeah, you know, it'd be so fun to hang out. And I've been ducking her. I've been ducking her because I still feel like you played me, like, you know what I'm saying? And now like I'm with somebody else, you know.
Right.
And so like a few girls that I felt like playing me, like Cuban girl hit me up, like random girls are hitting me up lately.
The joint with the fatty from New York?
Yeah.
She's still here?
No.
Oh.
No, she's not here anymore.
But
she just hit me up randomly.
with that one.
She just hit me back up randomly, and yeah. So no, I'm cool. I'm chilling because of COVID, you know. And now this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because she pretty much said like, look, like we're acting like this. We're acting like we're dating. Like, why can't we just have a title? She doesn't like it when I introduce her as that girl.
Right.
The girl I'm dating. She doesn't want to introduce me as that. So she said. And my biggest thing was the long-term expectations. Like, okay, because we're dating, does that mean we have to, like, plan for marriage?
Right.
This, that? And that I was very uncomfortable with that. And she's like, no, I just want to feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so, boom, she did it. Now she's on birth control. Now we, you know.
She's on birth control.
That was
off the rip.
Plus. Yeah.
Off the rip.
Almost needed, though. We had to take
that's for sure.
2 pregnancy tests at one point in time.
Yeah, you know,
and, like, our pull-out game is strong. But, you know, we're nervous. But yeah, you know, kicking it. It's been great and all. There is some things missing from the cultural aspect.
Right.
But, you know, it's made up for in other areas.
Right.
Which is cool. But yeah, I feel what you were saying before, though.
On just having that and that's the real, man. And I almost feel like that could be something for me that's like kind of holding me back from really diving into it with Denise. Well, initially it was me trying to hold out hope. Getting Kobe back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that gone, by the way? Like, completely gone? You don't want her back. You know you're not going to get her back. Like, you've moved on.
It's really hard to say right now if I want her back. I'm not tripping off of it, but I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm dying to get some shit off though. Like, I'm dying to just because and if my listeners, well, maybe they would love it. I don't know. But I'm about to say, like, I'm sure people would get tired of me talking about or somehow shit coming back to Kobe. But there's just some shit that just like it just still kind of rubs me the wrong way, man. It just still kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like just like me and Denise, we were talking the other day, and we were just talking about, you know, people breaking up or in cordial relationships or whatever the case may be. And Kobe was always talking about, you know, we're having a cordial breakup and whatever the case. But I'm thinking to myself, like, it's only cordial because I'm cordial. Like, bitch, I can't believe that, like, your girlfriend now, the one that you live with, like, you was bringing this, like, you used to just bring this bitch around the house. You would just, like from out of nowhere, she just could flip it in her mind that, like, hey, this shouldn't bother you anymore because we're not dating. We're just roommates. So it shouldn't bother you to walk in your house that you pay rent in and see the girl that I was just fucking all night. That shouldn't bother you because you're not we're just roommates. If you ask me, that is fucking crazy. And I just want to be able to, like, spit in her face one last time. I'm just saying I'm not gonna spit in her face. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. But.
I don't know how you haven't gotten this closure yet, though.
What do you
feel
mean?
like you've had multiple times. I mean, you said you were crying your eyes out to her. Like, I feel like you've had multiple opportunities to say your last words. Like, how is this not gotten off your chest yet?
Well, one, I think more so than anything, I think maybe more so than anything, the situation. I'm trying to figure out how I want to put it, but what I'm trying to say is, I believe it has something more so to do with me personally, than it does this one situation. Like, what I'm trying to say is, if I felt this way, if I felt the same way about this situation in any other situation, it would still be the same. It would still, I think I just have an issue with detaching from things. I think that's really what it is, more so. But yeah. So anyways, just to what's the name? I think that's one thing that's partially holding me back from like fully being able to just like lock in with Denise, is just because I feel like there's something missing, and I think that's what it is. It's just that natural connection of like culture and shit like that. Like, she gets shit. She's mad. She's hip hop and all this and that, but like, she's not even American though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
with your joint, like not only is she a white girl, but she's from across the pond.
Right. And that's crazy. That's what I wanted at first. I wanted the foreign girl, and now it's a lot harder than you would think.
Because again, it's just certain shit. It's just certain shit that really fucking that really fucking connects. But anyways. All right. What else? What else can we fucking get into? What'd you say that you had? You had your girl. Let's see. Okay, I already did that. Weezy was right about that. All right, okay, I guess we can do this. I seen this clip the other day, and this is why I wish I had that little what's the name, because I would just play a soundbite of it. But yeah, I think he's like a former NFL player. This dude named DeVell, I think DeVell Ellis or something like that. Anyways, him and his wife, I think her name's Kadeen. They were having a podcast. They got a podcast, and they was talking to this and that shit. And he was just saying, like, you know, why do women push monogamy so hard on men, but yet and still they treat sex as if it's a chore? And when I watched that, and I ended up it was like a 6-minute clip. And then I ended up going and listening to the whole podcast episode. It was actually a pretty good one. The Dead Ass Podcast. And I was like, man, this is a very interesting topic. Cause me and Kobe, I can remember when we had broke up or whatever, and we was walking to the car. I probably was about to move my car so she could leave or whatever. And we was kind of arguing about something, and she was saying like, well, maybe, you know, you'll get it out of your system, or, you know, fucking all these white hoes and white wives and all this and that shit, or whatever the case. And what she was trying to do was use us breaking up and whatever, like using me like fucking other chicks and shit like that as like a deterrent to the relationship and whatnot, and this and that. And I'm like, you let me do this. Like, you were the one that was like, you gave me the hall pass, though you maybe didn't necessarily want to. I'm not sure why she did it. I guess maybe because she was just trying to, get me back or whatever the case. But I could appreciate it, even though I didn't use that hall pass much or whatever the case. I didn't do it too often, but I do remember like sex kind of seeming like after a while. I just remember like after a while we just kind of like stop fucking. Like hold on. But yeah, we just kind of like stop fucking. How
was the sex at first? Like,
well, and and it's funny because, and that's part of the reason why I could fucking relate to that video a little bit, because they was talking about, because these cats, I think they said they've been married for like 18 years now. Not married for 18 years. They've been married for 10, but I think they've been together for like 18 years. And he was talking about like how they were younger and how when they had sex, what it seemed like they had sex all the time. But, it was because like, he was in college, he was doing football and shit. So he didn't have as much free time. And then, they'd be away on games. So it seemed like whenever they would get together, they was always fucking. And that's how it felt like with me and Kobe. Because for most of the time, for most of our...
It was long distance.
It was long distance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we had all the time to miss each other and all this and that. So anytime we see each other, man, we're just at it like fucking rabid dogs all fucking weekend. But then once we moved in together, I think it got cool and everything was cool. But no, I can definitely remember it seeming like sometimes we might just go maybe a week or two, and I wasn't necessarily even tripping off of it. For real.
What is the appropriate, do you think, number of times in an ideal world?
I would say...
Let's say living together.
I mean, obviously, I don't think there's a set number, because I think everybody's sexual drive or whatever is different.
Ideally for you,
I would say 2 to 3. I would think.
I think it'll probably 3.
I would say 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah, like I said, with the black girl, I kind of realized, like, dude, number one, sex for men is a big ego thing. Like, when you're not having sex with us, like, we're feeling like, you're not liking something about us.
Right.
Where's the affection coming?
Right.
And, like, I got a buddy of mine, and his girl, at first she wasn't having sex with him. Now she does, but the way she does it is very, like you said, more chore-like. She'll be like, hey, so tonight I want to have sex, and it was like, I've had multiple people tell me that. It's like, no, you got to turn me on. Like, you got to be affectionate towards me.
Right.
You got to, like, want to have sex.
Right.
And he was not getting that affection.
Right.
And so now he is seeking elsewhere.
Right.
He's going after other girls. And it's just to chase this affection. And he thinks, like, this is just how it is.
Right.
This nigga is really living a double life out here. Like, I told that shit the other day. Like, nigga, she has no idea. You got a double life, my nigga. Like, you doing all types of shit, man. With these other girls and shit. And he's like, yeah, they so affectionate. Like, grabbing on them and stuff. And, yeah, I need that affection, too. I was telling my girl today, because she was telling me she loves sex too, and she's just like asking me about extra rounds, and I'm like I don't really do round 2s anymore,
right?
Because first of all, so for me, if it's a brand new time I'm having sex with a girl, if I'm drinking, it's a different, like, you don't know if it's gonna be your last, really,
right?
And so and I was even telling her, like after round 1, first of all, I bust nuts.
Right.
Like, the nuts I bust now aren't like the nuts I used to bust. Like, back in the day, I would literally be fucking a girl and I would bust in like 2 seconds, right? When I first started. I'd be fucking shit out of her. I would come. She wouldn't know it. I would take the condom off and be like, yeah, this condom's dry. I would kind of jerk my shit a little hard, slide the condom on with my floppy dick, and start fucking until she got hard. All right, until my dick got hard again. And I would just go.
Yeah.
Right. Too much for the podcast. Too much.
No.
Okay.
We wilding for it.
So,
we wilding for it.
So yeah, that's what I used to do.
Right.
I'm incapable of that.
Right.
I wouldn't say I'm completely incapable, but so my climaxes weren't the same. So if I'm with a girl now, I'd be like, oh, like nuts. And even the girl tell me now, she's like, I've never seen a guy bust like you do. My toes be curling. I'm like, I'm coming. Like, I bust nuts. And then after that nut is busted, I'm paralyzed. I'm laying in the bed like you gotta clean me.
Hey yo. That'd be the funny thing, yo. Fucking, I'll be at Denise. Yo, busting that nigga. I'll fucking just roll over, just like, oh.
Yeah.
She'll get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she'll just toss the
Give me the
fucking
towel.
baby wipe.
Give me a towel.
Yo,
give me the baby wipe.
Give me the wipe.
Nigga, I be having to clean my ball sack. Man, I be fucking laid out.
But and that's crazy. And like you were saying, and that's the same thing the dude was saying on that video. He was like, because he was like, all right. He was like, him and his wife, they had like some shoot or whatever like that. They was doing something, shooting some kind of promo or something like that. And he was just saying how like all day she was just looking good as hell. He said she had like 80 pounds of weave in her head, makeup and shit just looking on point, body looking on point. Like, hey, like, I need you. And she made a promise, said, you know what, I'm gonna leave all this shit in tonight. And I mean today and tonight. When we get home, you can sweat it out. So bro was like, I'm hyped, this and that.
Right.
So we get home, the kids is basically down because the mom lives with them. The girl, his wife's mom lives with them as like a nanny.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like so the kid was damn near down and this and that. And then long story short, it didn't happen. But you know what he said? He was like, can we just go upstairs and just, watch a little bit of this Netflix show and this and that shit? And bro was like, he was like, at this point, like, I'm hot. Like, I got attitude. He's like, you on your side of the bed, I'm on my side of the bed. Like, don't mess with me. He said, then she had the nerve to look this nigga in the face, go roll over, put her like butt and shit all close up on him.
Yeah.
Look over and be like, hey, you want to eat my pussy? And he was like, and I think he said he ended up doing it, but he was like, how you gonna just make a promise like that to me and then just like not do it? Like, right. Now, like talking about, oh, I'm tired, and he was like, and he was like, and because I do want peace in the home and this and that, I've told you before, like, you know what? I'm not going to pressure you to fuck this and that. When you want to, we can do it and whatnot. But at the same time, he's like, but when you say that we're going to knock it out, let's knock it out. Like, I chose to be with you. You're telling me, he was like, how selfish is it of women to put it on niggas that you can't fuck with nobody else for the rest of your life.
Right.
Only me. But you can only have sex when I want to have sex. We can only have sex how I want to have sex. He's like, if a man was saying that to a woman, it's no question he'd be the most selfish nigga in the world. He would be the most selfish nigga in the world. He would be the most selfish nigga in the world to say some shit like that. But that's how fucking women are giving it up. And I'm like, yo, I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's very crazy. So again, it just makes me think. Back to shit that I've always said. Like, I don't necessarily know if I believe that monogamy and marriage has to be. I think this is the correct term, mutually exclusive. I'm like, I'm like, I don't know, because if this is how women is giving it up, what niggas supposed to do?
Like you said, man.
What niggas supposed to do? Like you was saying, don't. He was like, and don't make it. He was like, and I don't want to feel like you're doing it just because. Yeah. Like, damn, I want to feel, because then it's not enjoyable for any of us. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel you. I mean, well, I feel him.
Yeah. Because, yeah, niggas or bitches, fuck your niggas. Like, you know, because, like, right now, for me, like, I have no will to cheat.
Right.
Because I don't have that issue. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's going down.
Right.
And I don't want to do any work to, like, talk to someone new, meet someone new, go through all that. Dating is exhausting.
Bro.
I was exhausted this entire COVID.
Bro.
And so when she was like, yo, cuff me, I thought about it for a second. I'm like, why not?
Why not?
Fuck, I'm tired.
And
like, goddamn. You know, and so, and she's fucking.
Right.
If she wasn't, then I would be having concerns. You know what I mean? You know, it's not that it's all about sex, but, like, as far as monogamy goes, like, you know, I guess if you beat so many times, then eventually maybe you'll want to beat something new.
Right.
But for me, I mean, obviously, you know,
right now you're so new.
I'd want to fuck other things and not want her to fuck nothing else.
For sure.
So that's not really monogamy. That's just like, you know,
and
I don't want her to fuck nothing else.
And so, all right. So with me, my thing was, and that was partially, I guess for me, I always kind of looked at it as like, well, if I'm doing something, I think it's kind of crazy for me to say that you can't do something.
Right.
But
you'd really like you can, like, you want your girl with another nigga dick in her mouth? Like,
I'm not saying that's what I would want. And like I said on a podcast before, I've never done it, but I've been in the situation. So I don't know. I might like it. I might not. But what I will say is, like, all right, so say I'll use me and Kobe for an example, being that was kind of a situation. I feel like for me, I was doing it in the best possible scenario. I wasn't out here spending mad time trying to get to know bitches just so I could fuck other bitches. I wasn't doing, I'm not even putting myself in a position to possibly even get emotionally attached. Or even if I was to fucking, like, I don't know, find a couple or whatever that I was fucking with for a little, and I was like, oh damn, she's tight. Like, but even then, that's whatever. But these are like married people. There's literally nothing that's gonna go on here. So the issue for me that would have scared me with Kobe or with a woman, period, is
the emotional attachment.
The emotional attachment.
Well, yeah, we've all said it, we've all heard it. Like, men will do it.
Right.
Like, men will step out on their woman and never want to leave her.
Right.
But women, if they step out, like, they will leave their niggas.
In a heartbeat.
They will leave them.
In a heartbeat.
Like, niggas, like, every man in my family done cheated on grandma, mom, and they will not leave them.
Right.
That wasn't their goal.
Right.
They just.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take nothing. Like, like, that's why I just be laughing. That's why sometimes I gotta laugh at me and Kobe. Like, nigga, here we were, and it just makes me think about, like, the kind of things that get women to the point of when they finally just cut the cord. because I just thought it was crazy to me how like when when we initially broke up and shit like that, like the emotional attachment that women can get to each other, to anyone, is so strong. Like, bro, this bitch was damn near in love with a pen pal. With a pen pal, some chick that she started talking to, she had met like on a dating app, but the week she met her, like the girl had already like flew back to wherever she was from. Nigga, she used to be on this phone with this bitch like all the motherfucking time, my nigga, all the time. I hear her on the phone, they fucking in arguments and whatever the case. She talking about, oh, you're so important to me, I don't want to lose you out of my life. I'm thinking like, what? Like, she's
irrational.
Like, what the fuck is going on? So that would really be like the issue with letting your woman do shit outside of y'all doing shit together. You know what I'm saying? But if your woman is holding it down per se,
They're not.
Well,
I was watching. I'm watching now Temptation Island. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
It's such a great show.
Really?
But pretty much the premise is 4 couples go, and they go and they're single. So like, let's say me, you, Noonie, and Sam. We go with our chicks. Then 12 single girls come, 12 single guys come. We go to the villa with the 12 single girls. They go to the villa with the 12 single guys. Pretty much. And you have to go on dates with these people. Like you go on a date like once every.
Oh, hold on. So you come in with your.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you're in
yes.
these villas.
Gotcha.
And so they're like right off back party.
Right. Going crazy.
The girls are all over the guys. And it's a little different because when the girls go, they're a little more standoffish, and it's a bunch of niggas like mandingos and shit walking around there, and they show you clips every like few days. You go to a bonfire and they show you, because you don't see your girl for the rest of the time.
How long are you there?
For a month.
Oh wow!
And you don't see her the rest of the time. You see clips of her, and they try to show you the worst clip, and they only show you a few seconds.
Right.
So you don't see what happens before or after. And they paint everyone out to be a villain. They try as hard as they can. And like one season, the dude just didn't do anything, like the whole time. And then niggas is cheating, and they seeing it all, and the girls like freak out, so then they go cheat.
Right.
It's crazy. But the very first fucking episode, black girl, black guy, they're together. She don't trust the nigga, She talking about how much she don't trust him, The very first fucking night, she fucks another nigga there. It's insane.
Where is this on?
It's Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's Hulu.
Okay.
It's so great. It's the best.
I'm gonna have to check
been
it.
season 1 last
I'm gonna have
week,
to check
and I
it.
was craving season 2.
I'm gonna have to check it.
It's insane. She fucks this nigga, and then right off back, she like wants to be with him, and like these 12 dudes, they're there looking for love too, right? But it's weird because you got to be kind of a simp. Like, every time they go to the bonfire, they come back sad. Hey, man, he don't deserve you. He don't deserve you. That's the role they got to play. And I was like, I can't do
they
that
just so
shit.
the guys are saying that to the girls, just daddy macking like a motherfucker.
Yeah. And it's been working. I can't do that simp shit. It ain't me. But it works.
Well, I mean, but they probably like tell the guys like, so are the girls saying kind of the same thing to like the dudes maybe?
A little bit, but they're just being sexy.
Got you. Well, that's all they need to say.
They're just having fun being sexy.
Yeah.
The guys just like,
that's all they need to say.
They trying to resist, and it's crazy. The dude was really trying to resist, and then he see his girl out there getting fucked the first night. Like they were all like, in front of everybody. They're like, all right, I'm gonna show you a clip, and we all 4 of us just watching it, and she got fucked. But right away, she wanted him, and I could tell, I was like, this nigga's not gonna want to be with her.
Right.
He fucked her the first night she came here. You think he gonna want to be with you? And so he was macking, he had her all fucked up because she's like, now I feel like I'm making a mistake because she done cheated on him, thinking that she gonna get with him. That nigga don't even want her like that. And he was like, straight up, he was like, what's wrong? She's like, I just want to feel your dick, you know? And then she's like, what's going on with us? He's like, I think we should take a step back, you know? She emotionally,
See?
and they were out there just, they're being guys, you know,
Right.
wilding out, but they really don't want to leave their girls.
Right.
Both seasons I've seen,
Right.
only one nigga really wanted to leave his girl.
Right.
And left his white one for a black one, by the way.
Right.
He was a
Good
white
for
dude.
him.
And
Even better for him.
and but the other the guys don't want to leave their girls.
Right.
They're like,
Bro.
but the girls, once
Women,
they catch on,
it's so
over.
wild. And it's so wild. And I remember one time we was talking in the group chat, and almost kind of to this monogamy and this and that, and I was just talking about the lifestyle and this and that in the group chat, and one of the homies who's married was just saying like, nah, you know, I couldn't do that, or I wouldn't want to do that, and you know, that could open up a whole can of worms and this and that. But I'm thinking to myself like, look, man, you and your wife been married handful of years now, 2 beautiful children. Niggas, y'all literally got a whole ass fucking family. Bro, if y'all invite somebody into the bedroom, man or a woman, whatever the case, and your wife leave you just off of some sex, if she leave you just off of some sex, then my G, then it sounds like to me it must have already been plotting. But then maybe not.
But
maybe our women are just that crazy.
I think about now, because they are crazy. But the temptation, we all have temptation.
For
And
sure.
that's why the show is called Temptation Island.
For sure.
And you just can't feed into it. Right? We all got temptation.
For sure.
So if they just get this temptation handed on a silver platter, I guess, again, like you said, if they would leave you for all that, then you're nuts.
Right.
Like, you're absolutely
nuts. You are nuts.
If you leave that. If you just fuck, yeah.
You are absolutely.
But then what if they start fantasizing about that nigga? You know what I mean? And they just want that dick again. They still love you, but like, God damn, that nigga threw that dick. You know what I mean? Like, what if they thinking that?
I mean, I guess I hear that, but when you, all right, I will say that me and Kobe's sex life was cool. Was she like the freakiest or like the best sex I ever had in my life? No, not that she was terrible or anything like that, but it wasn't all that, or it wasn't like the illest shit in the world. You know what I'm saying? But the love was so strong there that I could bust a nut just off the fact that I love her. Like, you know, like sometimes that's all we got to say to each other sometimes. Yeah. I love you.
Yeah.
And the nut, I'm just letting it go. I'm just fucking letting it go. You know what I'm saying? So I hear that on what if she's fantasizing and this and that, but I still would feel like everything that you have with your partner or whatever is going to supersede whatever you could be fantasizing or whatever the case may be. I would assume so.
Well, so, and now the more and more I think about it, it's more levels. So obviously they fuck the fantasy, but then, you know, your relationship isn't perfect. No relationship is. And you get to start to thinking about all these little other things.
And no, that is a great point. That is a really
this guy
for sure
might not be this way.
For sure. Well, all right. So, and that's like one day
temptation, you can't even allow it.
That's why. And I remember me and Kobe was talking about something one day. And I forgot what it was, but we were just saying, and I was just saying how, like, you know, we say that we look for better. I'm not gonna say that most of the time you don't find better, because I'm sure you do. But I don't think, unless you're just in an absolute terrible fucking, like, I don't know, super fucking manipulative and abusive ass relationship, whatever the case, I don't necessarily think you find better. You just find different. And you might just like a different better, but it's not necessarily motherfucking better, you know? And I think that's really where you would have to make the distinction if the temptation added along with the rocky shit in a relationship, that's what you would have to factor in. Like, all right, is this different really going to be better than what I already have? You know what I'm saying? Like, how bad is this really? Like I said, like I was telling you that one day when we was talking, like, come on, man. The truth of the matter is I was mad at Kobe, and then I thought, she's just getting fat.
Right.
But after motherfucking 2 months, for me, after 2 months, I'm thinking to myself, well, that don't really matter much. Like, she's getting fat, but it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool because I fuck with you that heavy that it's just not even that big of a motherfucking deal. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's really where it all just kind of factor ins of just like, how bad is the relationship really? How bad is it really that like a motherfucker can't step out and then come back home? That like, again, but like you said, men, we're not trying to leave. We're not trying to leave. Any hoe that I ever put my dick in while I was fucking with Kobe was the last person on earth I was trying to fucking, like, what? I'm not trying to be with y'all. Like, that's crazy.
Right.
That's motherfucking crazy. But yeah, that was a pretty interesting motherfucking clip. That was a pretty motherfucking interesting clip. And damn, there was something I wanted to say, but I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot what the fuck it was. What was it? I don't know. I forgot. All right. Let's keep this fucking train moving along. Fucking Delusion. Oh my God. I almost want to go back to that because I seen some shit the other day that it almost kind of made me mad. It almost kind of made me mad at how fucking delusional. Matter of fact, I'm just going to tell the quick story anyways. I told it once, but now let me just add to it. I seen this chick on IG, and she was talking about how this dude tried to holler at her at the gas station. And she's a good-looking girl. At bare minimum, she's a cute girl. And this dude tried to holler at the gas station, and she turned him down. 1, because he didn't offer to pump her gas. 2, and or he didn't even offer to pay for her gas. And she was just like, what? Like, what kind of nigga? And she was just, and so one guy was like, well, maybe he didn't offer to do any of that because there was no guarantee he was going to get your number or whatever. And she was like, well, if you ask me, that's immature and that's a childish way of thinking, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
she's a nutcase.
I'm like, exactly. And I'm like, well, isn't that kind of the same for you? Like, all right, he didn't holler at you, or he didn't do all this and that because there was no guarantee, but you also didn't show him any love because what? You weren't attracted to him off the rip. Maybe you seen his car or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, maybe he seen you and was just like, you know, I don't want to, I think she's cute enough to go approach, but I'm not going to bring out the big guns and offer to pay her gas.
Who's even thinking about that? Like, honestly, no logical human just walks up to someone and thinks, I want to pay for your gas. Like, he's just thinking you're a pretty woman, and he wants to say hi.
Right.
Like, you know?
And I'm thinking to myself, like, how come you can't feel like, you know, or how come he can't feel like that's just what that's just what he wants to do. He seen you, thought you were pretty, and was like, hey, I'll go holler at her. And she was like, you know, well, if pumping the gas or offering to pay my gas is the big guns, then that's an issue within itself. I'm like, okay, if you say so. I hear you on pumping the gas. Yes, that would have been a solid gesture. But even then, that's a stretch.
The gas pumps itself.
Even then, it's a stretch. Exactly.
He don't have to pump it. Just press the thing down.
Exactly. So, but then, I'd probably say a week or so ago, I see on her IG, and she's like I said, she's cute, she's thick, this and that. Long story short, my nigga, this bitch weighs 220 pounds.
Oh.
I don't know if this nigga is a fat nigga. I don't know if this nigga is a skinny nigga. But what I'm gonna say is, baby, you 220 pounds.
How do you know
What
her
make you?
weight? She said that. She
Yeah,
posted
she
weight?
put it. She put it on the. She put it on her IG.
I gotta see her.
She put it on her IG. And I'm just thinking to myself, when I seen that, I'm like, are you serious? You are 220 pounds. You are literally 220 pounds, and you about to front. You really over here thinking that you just deserve to
Get your gas pumped.
to get your gas pumped and all this and that shit. It's like, again, going back to the motherfucking delusion. Going back to the delusion of motherfucking women. It's just it's literally insane. It is literally insane. Hold on, let me find this right quick. Cause like I said, I think Shorty's relatively. I think she's pretty fucking good looking.
Pretty fat. Jesus.
Well, she's got a nice body though.
220 pounds.
Yeah,
Pretty
she's
nice
221.
body. She like 6'8". That's the only way her body can be nice at that fucking weight.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because I'm like, I don't know how old Shorty is. I don't know if she's in her. I want to say she's like in her mid-20s or something like that. But it's just like, if you already this Shorty, if you're already this, then I can only imagine where it might go if you don't fucking I can't even. I'll find it after the shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I can only imagine where it's gonna go after. Oh shit, where it's gonna go after this? Like, what the fuck? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Jesus Christ, I need an intern. Ugh. All right. We're at an hour. Let's see. What else? What else? What'd you say you wanted to talk about? The election and all that shit? Oh, let me ask you this.
Well, really, I just wanted to talk about just voting in general.
That's right.
Yeah, because...
Are you going to vote?
No.
I mean, either. I registered, but I doubt I do it.
Yeah, and two reasons. And first of all, the whole notion that if you don't vote, your opinion doesn't matter. Like, that shit's just stupid. Because here's the thing. Here's how I feel. Number one, you can vote and not know anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could vote and be like, oh, well, I'm black, so I'm supposed to vote Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So does that opinion matter more or less than mine when this guy is completely uninformed on what the issues even are?
Right.
You know what I mean? What makes his opinion more important? And number two, I can have an opinion without being angry. So what?
Correct.
Do I want Biden to win? Yeah, sure. Right. I've already, Trump is, to me, he's a racist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even getting into it. I don't want Trump to win.
Right.
But do I care if he does? No.
Right.
If he wins, I'm still going to live my life
right.
the way. So I can have an opinion on his policies, on Biden's policies, which ones I think are good, which aren't bad, because I'm kind of in the middle of it all. But either way, like, I get if you don't vote, then don't bitch and cry about, like, if I don't vote and then Trump wins, and I'm like, no, then that would be like, come on, you didn't even vote.
Right.
But I don't care.
Right.
So I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm not really going to have to readjust or anything like that. And the reasons why I don't vote, again, number one, the electoral college system, the way that it's going to work, California's going to win. And I don't care.
Yeah, he's definitely going blue.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not telling everyone don't vote because it's going to be blue. I'm saying me personally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to vote. It's going to be blue. If you don't believe me, I'll bet anybody a G. Anybody who wants to bet me, if you think it's going to be red, bet me and we'll go from there, right? I know you won't do it, though.
Right.
If I lived in a swing state, then there's a way higher probability that I would vote. I'm not just going to vote just for the notion.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's a blind, just empty gesture, like my barber would say, well, your ancestors fought for you to vote this and the other, blah, blah. Well, they fought for me to do whatever I wanted.
Actually.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
If I was in a swing state and I felt like my vote would really have a little more weight, then probably I would. if it wasn't an inconvenience to me.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna live my life no matter who is the president, no matter what they got going on. And if it's really important, I'll probably vote for, mayors and countymen and stuff like that when it comes down to it, when it matters, once I start to advance in life. Right now, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
And,
I doubt I'm going to vote. Again, like you said, it's probably because I believe that it's probably going to be blue. And it's just like, when I be seeing them shits with and I don't know if that's out here in LA, those super, super long lines and shit that they be showing around. I'm like, that shit's crazy. That shit is crazy.
Fucking pandemic.
That shit is crazy.
Like mail-in voting.
Right. But yeah, I doubt that I'm gonna fucking vote. Trump. I feel you too. I don't want him to win just because it. Honestly, man, when I really think about it, I don't give a fuck. It's hard for me to give a fuck either way. And maybe that's just because, like, I'm just so in my own shit that it's like, how does... I understand how this shit affects me, but at the same time, I almost feel like I don't understand how any of this shit affects me. Or how... Like, I'm trying to think of how has... From the first time I voted, which was for Obama his second time, for his second term, how has any of those things affected my life on a day-to-day basis the past fucking 8 years?
Right.
I don't know. I personally couldn't tell you the distinct difference of what. I don't know. I could not tell you. So I'm just not. I just don't really give a fuck, honestly. And I know it's terrible to say it. I know, like, Denise gets on me about it. Like if I can do it, I can. I'm like, yeah, I hear you.
My chick the same, getting on me about like how I'm being selfish.
Right.
I'm like, but I'm gonna vote for my own self-interest. Am I not?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
either way,
if either way doesn't matter,
either way,
then why does it matter? She said, well, what about people that are going to be affected really negatively? And then she starts talking about abortion and this, that, and the other, and how it's the woman's right to do. I was like, you do realize that the other side says you're murdering babies.
Right.
Murdering them. So if I vote for you, then these women think you are murdering a baby.
Right.
So at the end of the day, someone's affected.
Somebody.
If I vote this way is
right.
hurt. If I vote this way, this party is hurt. Either way, I gotta vote for me. I can't think about everyone else in the world.
Exactly.
What's great for the world. I gotta vote for my best interests.
Exactly.
And I don't think either of these guys give a shit about my best interests
at all.
And no matter what, I'm just gonna keep doing me.
First off, one thing why I don't want to vote, and maybe this is why it should, being that at least Kamala's in there, but it's like, bro, I'm not even motivated to vote because it's like, why I don't feel comfortable with either of these two old ass niggas. Like, bro, they're both like 70, like, what? They're both damn near 80 years old. They don't even come close to what. Like, all right, both of them, in hindsight, they actually do represent everything that is America today.
Right.
Their heyday is still a lot of what America is right now. And it's fucked up, and it's this way of seeing shit, and it's that way of seeing shit. So in that essence, to a degree, they actually do represent the country. But really, man, they don't represent at all of what America really is now. Like, it's just different. And just having two old ass white men in the like running for president is just a terrible symbolism of like just what America looks like now and what it's gonna look like going into the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the visual representation of it is all off. But with Trump, maybe it's not, because hey, we love us some celebrity, we love us some fame, we love us some social media and all this and that shit, and Trump definitely embodies all of that shit. He definitely embodies all of that shit and what America is. So in that case, maybe he does fit, but like I said, my nigga, I'm just not motivated. I am not motivated to vote for these niggas at all, man. Point blank period. Point blank motherfucking period. But all right, man. I think that's about it that I had on my shit. Let me see if there's any last fucking that Weezy might be able to give us a hot fire soundbite.
I think you got enough.
Yeah, I think I might. I think let's see. Maybe we'll do that another time, or I'll do that with someone else. The generational that's something.
Oh yeah.
Generational wealth. I be seeing that shit all the time on Twitter. Generational wealth, all this and that. That generational wealth has almost become toxic to me. Like, I almost don't like that word as much as fucking toxic. Like I said, if I had to go off Twitter, it's like it's crazy. In one breath, we're talking about generational wealth, but then on the other hand, especially within the black community, it seems like don't nobody want family or anything anymore. It seems like everybody is we have more than accepted it being whatever of just like dying alone, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Maybe having kids is whatever.
We had to really dive into it. I mean, just with like it's crazy. I was looking at how the demographics have changed. And you know how everyone's like, by I think 5 years from now, like whites will be like minorities, and it's not because the number of blacks has increased,
Right?
Because it's the number of Mexicans really, and Asians, but blacks have remained the same for like 50, 60, 70, like
Yeah.
11%.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy. And I don't think
people think a lot of it has to do with the abortion clinics in the black community. Some people say that. People saying genocide, all this other stuff.
Yeah, you got the incarceration and shit like that.
So it's so much. It's so many layers.
And like I was saying, it sounds crazy. I know it be sounding crazy when I be saying it and this and that. But like I seen on that stat, and I got into it on Twitter one day, and that's when which I always knew that, but that's when I really was like, man, Twitter's not necessarily a place where you explain things. But it was a post, and this chick was just talking about some black dude was doing something, or no, it was a mixed couple, black dude, white girl, and I think they're 2 kids, and I think his shirt was like White Lives Matter, her shirt was Black Lives Matter, the kids' shirt said All Lives Matter, and this and that shit. And I was like, damn, I wonder if this is part of the reason why black women are going by. Now, they was trying to get on me. But I didn't have. But what they didn't know, the shit that they were saying, and I'm like, I'm hearing y'all say this, but what y'all not realizing is, or at least for the stats that I've seen, and I've seen it on multiple little websites, but within the black community, black women specifically, in the past 2 years, it has literally shot up from every what was it, 1 in 60. It was 10 years ago, I think it was maybe like 1 in 60 black women that identified as bisexual, and now it's like every 1 in like 18 or something. Like, it has over the past 10 years, it has shot through the motherfucking roof of black women identifying as bisexual. And all the chicks were trying to say, like, oh, that has nothing, like, if you're born. I'm like, I hear that, but I'm like, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering if it has anything to do with, don't do that. If it has anything to do with black women with the workforce. that was really my point of like, are black women going to black women because numbers would probably say that for lifestyle, a black woman has a better chance to have the lifestyle that she wants, single or just with another black woman, because black women are coming out getting decent paying jobs and shit like that. They do have education and all this and that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and now that it seems that black women are valuing that so much, I wonder if that has anything to do with it, and moving forward in the future, if that could also be something that maybe deters the numbers for growth within the black community. So yeah, but we'll have to tap into that one. We'll have to tap into that one another motherfucking time. But I appreciate you sliding through and doing an episode with the kid, checking out the new digs.
Yes, sir.
And shit like that, because it's been a minute since I seen my nigga. And I'm gonna. So when do you plan on leaving again? No time
Cali?
soon, right?
Cali?
Yeah, you said 2022.
2022.
Okay, all right, for sure.
Yeah, I got some time. I got to finish school, so.
For sure. Well, all right, guys. It's been a motherfucking another one. One time for my boy, motherfucking Free Weezy.
What's up?
One time for my boy, Free Weezy. Like, subscribe, share if you care, and we out this bitch.